outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on Vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone. I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what
All
you need.
alone.
Vitamin G. Ay. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G, got what you need. Vitamin G, got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Tryna run the town. Tell 'em no duck when they hear that sound. How they gon' come up now? Heavy as the head that'll wear that crown. I'm going pound for pound. And if it's about smoke, then we talk all of that. From an ounce to a pound. Check it, they biting this now. Cause my drip right up the seat. How could they be? Give me a couple of rounds. Cause I'm a beast when I'm on vitamin G. You see this start crumbling now. Mad struck, start mumbling now. Get the gist, I ain't reaching for cloud. Plot twist, I'm the one with the keys. Clock blitz, know they love how I freeze. Different continents, I be torn. We living life, making yours look boring. See, we win at the end, it's a spoiler warning. Cause I keep heating up, I might blow the whole planet. They calling me toxic like global warming. But they keep tuning in once again and again. I'm the one at the top, just to form a warning. Truly, I'm De Niro when it come to movies. Get De Niro, entertain the groupies. Habanero if you come pursue me. But I hop on the gang, too busy rolled up whenever my girl getting moody. Link up with the gang, we all go insane. Catching them bills on the duty. I'm in Stixie, I'm locked in. Bought a box, I was like 10. Back then, used to box, nowadays they ain't throwing hands. Mama said we got more advanced. One thing about me, I adapt, bought a Glock fin. Keep me safe from the block in. The game kept me off the block. Ain't got flex about looting my Ruger. I can shit on you with my computer. See my graphics card costs more than your damn job can afford to pay you. And my monitor, big as hell, detail, so I can see when I spray you. To reload the clip and record the clip is go all say to that SSD. Know a whole lot of trill game heads like me wanna see tuned into that VGP. Take over the west and the east, and we got just what you need on vitamin G.
Yep, got it working just in time. Oh, that's a close call. That's, all right. How's it going, everyone? This is your friendly neighborhood ninja, raised ninja hidden in the hood. As far as games I've been playing, I've been playing Bumble Party a lot recently. My girl had me play like 80 rounds of our 80 turn Bumble Party match, which took like 3.5 hours. Uh, let's see what else. I have reviewed 2 controllers. So this controller for the Easy SMX X05 controller is released on my YouTube channel. This controller is for PC, Android, iOS, and Nintendo Switch. It's a Hall effect joysticks, Hall effect triggers, and it has glowing RGB lights. And I finally have finished my review on the Backbone controller. So if you want to check out the Backbone controller, you can watch this after the interview today with Vitamin G. Oh, nice. How is it? Mm. Can't hear. Yeah, it sounds like they said they can't hear you. Interesting. Well, while he's talking, it was some cool things. As far as getting into mobile gaming, I realized that
All right, that should be
what's the
better.
point of getting mobile
I don't know
gaming
why my
if
audio. I'm back up now.
there's like these Windows handhelds coming out around the same price as some of these mobile gaming. It kind of made me question whether or not if I should have got the Razer Edge. Wait,
The Razer Edge Ultimate.
wait, are you able to say something?
No, they can hear me. I can see myself. I'm
Oh
up
no, I
now.
can't even hear him now.
You can't hear me? Hold on. Oh my goodness gracious.
No, I cannot hear. I can listen to you through the live stream. I can't hear you on Discord.
This is crazy. Hold on.
Yeah, this man got his whole Discord tab up on the stream.
Hey, who gives a fuck? Let's
Okay,
see.
I can hear you now.
All right, and yeah, I don't know what happened. So, all right, we should be all good to go. Computer's gonna computer sometimes. Yeah, I was saying that I've been playing quite a few games recently, but I just recently beat the first Hellblade. My initial impressions of the first game, I don't think it was all that. I think it did get a little bit of extra love for it being an indie. For it being an indie at the time, it did look pretty well. Combat was okay, but the concept of her just being out there by herself and like battling her inner demons and the whole schizophrenia thing, it didn't really sit with me well. And then getting additional story through the lore stones, it was cool. You know, to me, it's like a solid 7 out of 10. The first Hellblade, but you know, I stuck through it. I finished it. It was cool. The second one, I like the second one so far a lot better. I actually like the combat in the second one a lot better because you're not fighting these like figures that are coming out of thin air. Like you're fighting like real people, and the combat feels a lot more grounded to me. Yeah, the might have a little bit less inputs. I know some people took issue with that, but there are aspects of the combat that I do like better. Like you can't just walk straight at your opponent and attack them. There's actually a strategy. Like you have to, like I had to go against a guy's sword hand in order to actually be able to really dodge his attacks and attack him. I couldn't just keep going away from his sword hand, going to the right. I had to go to the left against his sword hand. So it was like little things like that that I actually appreciated going into the second one with the combat. So there are aspects of the second one's combat that I like more, and I'm not far enough to talk about the story too much yet. But I do like that, you know, this one she's not like necessarily just solely battling the inner demons in her head. There's like actual like people she's in conflict with. So I do like that so far. Other than that, been playing Madden, playing a couple of mobile games here and there, nothing fancy. And dove back into Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Been knocking out those mini games that I hate so much. I just hate that I just hate that I have to do like the max score on hard mode. Like I'm not playing the mini game to enjoy it at this point, and it annoys me. Like I don't mind the combat simulator, like having to fight all the bosses. I don't mind that grind, but like mini game grind is like annoying to me. But yeah, we got some more people who strolled in. So I see. I think Omar came in first. So Omar, what you been up to? What you been playing?
What's up, man? So yeah, I've been playing quite a few games. I finished The Surge finally.
Okay.
I dropped it back in 2019, but one of my co-hosts on other player podcast started playing it. I'm like, okay, let me give it another chance, and I won. I beat it. Even though I did everything that need to be done, I didn't get the best weapon, and that glitched on me, so that sucked. Other than that, I started a game called Shadow Gambit.
Okay.
If you heard of Shadow Tactics, it's a strategy game where you basically kind of like Commandos back in the
Okay.
heyday.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this is a studio called Milimim,
Okay.
and it's from Germany. Sadly, it's closed. This was their final game, which is basically like Commandos, but as a pirate. And their previous game was Shadow uh, Tactic, which is basically the same, but with a different jacket, basically Japanese, in the pseudo Japan era.
Okay.
And they also made Desperados 3, which again, great game, which is basically also the same, but in cowboy now. Yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. Too bad that the studio closed, and I bought finally Stellar Blade, so I can't wait to start that game. But yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, looks like we got a full panel today. That is great to see.
Mhm.
Kofi, how you been? How you been? What you been up to? What you been playing?
What's up, guys? A lot of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Definitely making some good progress. I'll be dead honest. My sons are very into the storyline, so I have to make sure I record a lot of the story points in the gameplay so that they can catch up. And it's been a nice little family session for us. To give you an idea of where I'm at, I don't want to spoil things, but I'll say I'm fighting summons, but not in a battle simulator.
I know where you're at.
I think
You're close to
Pharaoh
the
and
end,
Omar.
actually.
Yeah, I'm
You're
getting
close to
there.
the end. Yeah, I know where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Genji,
know exactly. Where.
he's on the island.
So, having a good time. Really, I think it's a special game, but I still want to talk about it when it's actually over. So, there's that. I've picked up some games on sale that I'm about to dive into. One is I'm forgetting the name. Hold on, my PlayStation's still on. It's an action RPG that came out on PC a couple years ago. It's called Heroine Anthem Zero,
Okay.
and this is the sequel. So it's called Heroine Anthem Zero 2 Scale Scars Oath. To be honest, the gameplay just kind of looked cool, and when things are on sale, I will pick them up. But that's basically it. I've still got like a nice catalog of things. Like I was touching on Dave the Diver, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, Dave the Diver is great.
Yeah, Dave the Diver is a nice little one. And I want to get to Godzilla, the Godzilla update that Dave the Diver just got. So, could be a lot of that. Unicorn Overlord's going to be like the next big thing for me to dive into, RPG wise, and of course Stellar Blade is going to be here. So, it's a great year. And then we've got some crazy things. Well, I don't want to talk about unreleased games, but next month will be cool because I'm going to import again. I got a big pickup coming next month. And we got to talk Trails next month too, because one of the best Trails games in the series is releasing on the 5th, I think it is. So, good times ahead, guys.
Good times ahead. All right, and Jubei, what you been up to? What you been playing?
Starfield, to be honest.
Yeah, I seen that. How you liking the new updates? Have you done the new Star Wars mod?
No, I don't want to break my achievements, so I'll wait for another playthrough to do that.
Okay. Cool. And last but certainly not least, Zero, what you been up to? What you been playing?
What's going on, people? So like Kofi, Final Fantasy VII, but I have finally beaten it.
Oh, congrats!
So I'm done with the game. I am
Nice,
far more confused leaving than I was walking in. But once Kofi finished it, we can sort of discuss everything. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Also, like Kofi, he hasn't gotten to it yet, but I'm playing Unicorn Overlord. Excellent game. I think you'll like it a lot. It's fun and it's great for like quick burst. But on top of that, I have gotten back into Elden Ring. I never finished the game. I'm at the end and I walked away for a long time. So I think it's now time to finish it up because I'm very interested in getting into the DLC. And I wanted to make a new character, so the DLC gives me an opportunity and skill set to actually do that. Um, but biggest thing I've been spending a lot of time on is actually Destiny 2. Man, the final shape is here. I have done battle with the witness. I'm impressed to say, like, Bungie stuck the landing on the
Wait,
well,
so the
the
witness
ending.
turned out to be bad as predicted?
He was always bad. You're thinking of the Traveler.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the server. Never mind.
Yes, yeah. They stuck the landing, man. Like they delivered on what has been a mixed bag of a 10-year experience. But I gotta give them credit, man. The campaign is excellent. The new modes like Dual Destiny is excellent, where it's just a 2-man mission. There's an awesome 12-man mission that they have at the very end of the game. The only thing it's a blast. It's very much Avengers Endgame level of like everybody's here and everybody's doing stuff. The only thing I haven't done yet is tackle the raid, and so hopefully within the next coming weeks I'll get to that.
All right. And I was gonna say, before we jump into our topics, I just want to point out that Backbone controller that is in Nappy's background. He just dropped the review for that today.
I appreciate that.
So when you guys get a chance, head over to his channel, check that out. And we got Legendary Obi. He had a message for Jubei. He was letting you know that you won't brick your achievement when you start your current save with mods. They split it up. You will have your vanilla save and your modded save, and there's also a mod where you can call your ship to exactly where you are. But yeah, if you made it this far, please hit that like button. If you like what we're doing, share us out, and we will swiftly dive into our topic today, which is kind of light, even though there's kind of a lot we can talk about. And I'm gonna kind of open the floor, give especially since we've been gone for a couple weeks. Yeah, and anybody got anything industry related that's not our topics on your mind?
I got something for Jubei. Hey, Jubei. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
All right. So, 8-Bit Do released a Xbox lineup of controllers. So this is the 8-Bit Do Ultimate 3 controller.
It's a what controller?
An 8-Bit Do Ultimate controller for Xbox, and it comes with a charging dock.
Huh.
But guess what the funny thing is?
What?
It only works with wire connection for Xbox. Only works wirelessly with PC.
Well, that's dumb. Well, Xbox also has proprietary stuff. They don't want to pay the license thing that says, it's.
Yes.
So
I can use this wirelessly.
Being cheap.
Yes, I can use this wirelessly for PC, but when it comes to Xbox, it only works with the wire connection. Also, they did release two other controllers. They got their 8-Bit Do Ultimate C controller, which is like a $30 wire controller. It has little RGB rings around it. And the 8-Bit Do Pro controller. Oh, by the way, all these controllers have Hall of Fame joysticks, so these are like their Hall of Fame joystick lineups for wire controllers.
It's like a PlayStation-y controller with the two joysticks in the middle.
Yeah, it's more so like a PlayStation controller. Has 2 programmable back buttons, so for you PlayStation people, that's about the hot.
Oh, even the back buttons are like the PlayStations.
Really?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, you're talking about these?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, but yeah,
they're not one for one, but they're similar. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is that all 3 of these controllers I just showed you are Hall Effect joysticks, so there's that. But it just sucks because this works wirelessly for PC, and it's only a wire connection with Xbox. It is. I don't know why 8-Bit Do decided to go with this, especially since it has a charging dock and only comes with 1 cable, so which means you have to unplug your charging dock and plug your controller in to your Xbox in order to use this. So it's an interesting choice, to say the least. So Oh, I also seen Summer Sales starting this weekend, so we're about to get them discounted PC games. But that's all I
That's
have for. That's all I had.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Anybody else have something gaming related on their mind? It's not related to the topics. Anyone else?
Go see Inside Out 2. There's a video game reference in it.
All right, all right.
If we're talking media in general, I managed to see the new Bad Boys film.
How'd you like it?
Actually, I think it's better than the third one, and probably as good as the second one. And it's
Really?
mostly because, to be honest, I was like, man, these guys are getting a little bit older. How many, weird special effects will we catch now? And to be honest with you, I saw the third one pretty close to release. I didn't even remember what happened. It's the first time I really had to go back and be like, what even happened in Bad Boys 3? But
That's pretty bad.
Bad Boys 3 is forgettable. I'm not going to say it was a bad film, but it's very not memorable. 4 has many, many, many great moments. It knows how to be funny. It knows how to be dark. It has those big scenes like in Bad Boys 2 when they're driving a Hummer through shacks in the desert. So, yes, I actually recommend going to see that. So, definitely good stuff.
All right. And I think the only two people who didn't have anything on their mind is Jubei and Omar.
This whole Doctor Disrespect stuff. You think he did it or no?
I don't know if he did it. I just know it's kind of messy, and the people who are trying to out him don't necessarily
like him,
have any credibility behind them. So I just kind of stay away from it.
I mean, they canned his partnership for a reason, or
I
don't know what that was.
Yeah,
You don't lose, you don't get to lose millions of dollars like that. You know what I mean? And potentially, if it's just smoke, you know what I mean?
There was some sort of breach there for sure. But I'm not gonna be the one to call a guy out if I don't have hardcore information, or the person who is the source of that information just doesn't have previous credibility, or they're not the victim in the matter. So it's like it's something that you got your eye on, but it's kind of, unless more information comes out, you just kind of take it at face value. He's already suffered as a result of whatever took place. So he apparently his own gaming company his own gaming company dropped him. So
after the internal investigation.
So I'm sure there's some sort of credibility to it, but I would just leave it at that. Oh yeah, Jubei, you got anything?
Nope.
All right. So with that said, everyone got a chance to get some off their chest. We can dive straight into our first topic of the day. And before I do that, Ante said exactly, we have no idea what they did or didn't find out. At the end of the day, we don't know what they based their internal decision on. Yep, we don't. And like I said, the sources behind it just aren't the most credible. So I'm not taking a side either way. But we're on the top. We are on to topic 1 of the day, and that is our Nintendo Direct reactions. So, Nintendo Direct. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. Good cadence, good speed. I think they started off with that Mario Brotherhood. Is that the name of the game?
Mario Luigi's Brotherhood. Yeah.
Yeah. That game looked quite interesting. And then the Legend of Zelda game where you actually play as Zelda. So you're not
Zelda.
You're not saving her anymore. maybe you save Link. That should
That
be
shit was heat, yeah?
that. I mean, it feels like a classic Zelda game in a sense. So it kind of goes back to some of those classic Zelda elements. So that definitely makes it a little bit more interesting to me.
Mm.
And then Metroid Prime 4 that stood out. Dragon Quest, Capcom versus Marvel, which is had a lot of
Marvel versus Capcom, man.
Marvel versus
And
Capcom.
Marvel versus Capcom 2.
All right,
You gotta
whatever.
give it all its respect.
That has had a lot of controversy around it. Rightfully so.
PC.
Yeah, so they had a really strong show with a lot of really good IP present. I'm gonna throw it off to our resident Nintendo fan to get his initial impressions on the show. What did you think, Zero?
Oh man, I thought it was excellent. Some article, it might have been Kotaku or somebody else, but basically said Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch is going out with a bang instead of a whimper. They absolutely nailed, I think, everything they needed to do for basically what we hope to assume is the last legs of the Nintendo Switch before they give us whatever is new. The Zelda game looks amazing because the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the remaster, which came out in 2019, was also pretty amazing. So to see them continue with that art style, but to finally, at this point, it has to be. No, I think she's been playable within the past 15 years.
So from what I understand, it's not the first time where
No, it's not the first. Legend of Zelda: Wand of Gamelon and the Philips CDI games most star Zelda.
Yeah,
so that's definitely there.
Yeah, that was my understanding that the ones where she was, I don't think Nintendo was the direct developer behind. Is kind of what I've heard some people saying. So
no, the Philips CDI games are one of the rare moments where they licensed out their first party titles. They became legendarily bad, which then sort of forced Nintendo to never do that again. And so the Nintendo seal of approval, I think, stems from that sort of interaction.
Yeah.
And so they never no, we'll do it all in house. But it's it was an excellent show. There's a little bit for everybody, right? So our JRPG fans like Omar and Kofi, there's the Dragon Quest remakes as well as Romancing Saga 2. For us fighters, obviously the greatest reveal of the show, quite frankly, which is not a Nintendo game. That might be the first time that's ever happened for Nintendo in general. But the return of Marvel, particularly Marvel 2, which has been locked behind. I think the last time it was around was the 360 era.
Yeah, Marvel.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Yeah, pretty sure that's correct.
And it didn't. And it was a mediocre port. It wasn't that great. So to see that come back in full force, I know it's on sort of everything except for Xbox, weirdly. But what a reveal! That we've never been in a better fighting game time than right now. And hopefully everybody will go out and buy it, because if you buy more of it, that will get them more interested in hopefully making something new. And moving away from the MCU version of Marvel vs. Capcom and pulling it back to what it used to be, where they dig deep into the barrel of characters who nobody knows to get it done. Then there's just a lot of fun stuff, like sort of the weird stuff that I certainly would enjoy, like the Nintendo World Championships. I definitely wanted to get that, the NES edition. The Fantasia Neo Dimension thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that looked really, really interesting. Glad that they're still doing stuff with Nintendo Switch Sports. What else did we see? Oh, Donkey Kong looked absolutely awesome. Hopefully that's sort of noticed that a new Donkey Kong is coming, because we've sort of been left out of that for quite some time. So we really need. Tropical Freeze was really, really good. So hopefully they can sort of bring that back and get it done. But overall, man, I won't go into every little game that's there, because I'm sure other people have stuff to talk about. But what a show! What an absolute great show for Nintendo to have cadence is fine, but they've sort of mastered that already. But just again, I think giving everybody a little bit of something that they want. Of course, the major reveal of Metroid Prime 4, we finally get to see it. We know it's coming. I don't know how much more we could have asked for outside of maybe Tears of the Kingdom DLC. But realistically, as a Nintendo fan, we all understand that Mario's not coming yet. Nor is Mario Kart. Zelda, Metroid might be the last of the big dogs to show up here. So we're good, man. And all within a couple of months. Well, a good portion of them within a couple of months.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot to play leading up into whenever the new release of the Switch is announced, and whatever new games they're bringing along with it, which provides hope that we don't got to worry about Super Mario Party, so that's not going to fill it up. They already gave us a Zelda, so that's not going to fill it up. So now we get to look forward to things that aren't shown here that we can hope to show up on the next show, or at least the sort of launch titles for the Switch 2. Mario Kart, Kirby, Kid Icarus, F-Zero, Star Fox. We've got a lot of options here. So I'm happy about it, man. It was a great show. 10 out of 10 for me, just largely because what a way to end a generation.
Yeah, definitely. I think Nintendo just proves the power of not having to be the most powerful piece of hardware and have the most graphical fidelity out there, and just how much that allows you to get a quicker turnaround time on your development of games, because they pump games out, man. They pump them out like nobody else. Microsoft had to buy, 2 publishers to even come close to having Nintendo's output of first-party content, and they're the closest rival as far as platform holders of first-party content pushing out at the moment. So
yeah, and of course, I believe most of these games also show up on a variety of other systems.
Yeah.
But like anything else, mindshare is what gets people. When if people see Ace Attorney on the Switch,
you associate it.
With the Switch.
Yeah, you associate
and
with the
quite
Switch.
Frankly, it has been associated with Nintendo for a very long time.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
They had such a fantastic turnaround time on these games, and I love to see it. Let's see. Who am I gonna go to next? Nappy, Mr. I emulate Nintendo games on my PC.
Whoa. Sir. I need you to chill with those accusations.
Oh, man. What do you think of this show?
I was looking at it and I was like, oh, these are some interesting games I can play in my own way. It's no. But overall, no, I actually think it was a good show. That Marvel vs. Capcom 2 port, I am extremely jealous of. I did not see that on Steam. I am sad.
It's coming to Steam.
Capcom. Well, Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Yes, it's coming to Steam.
I think the only place it's not coming is Xbox.
Yeah.
It is! It's here!
Yeah, the only place it's not coming is Xbox at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I care about.
Yeah,
Capcom 2 is the best Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that after everyone gives their initial impressions. But yeah.
But yeah, it was a little fun little games. Metroid 4 was because he was this big goat. I was a little shocked not to hear anything about a Switch 2, but at the same time, I was like, I guess, hopefully, I think this year is going to be the final year for the Switch before they announce a new console, because
hopefully.
I'm seeing all the new hardware that's coming out, the new RAM that's coming out that's much faster. Heck, they now got LDDR5 RAM, which is actually more powerful than their original DDR4 memory. So they could and Snapdragon got a Snapdragon X. Nvidia got their own mobile chips that way surpass that damn Tegra chip.
Yeah, well, apparently the Switch 2 is already kind of done. They were when they were at Gamescom's last year, it was to show off the Switch 2 behind closed doors, apparently.
So we've heard.
Yeah.
No confirmation. I'm pretty sure if you get to see the Switch 2, I'm pretty sure you have to sign an NDA, and nobody wants them ninjas after you because
Yeah, you probably got a sniper.
Nintendo
You probably
don't
got a
play.
sniper outside your house 24/7.
I mean, they didn't get me yet, so. But but on a serious note, though, it has been yeah, it was a good show. I also think it was good. Nintendo, you guys are getting a lot more life out of your Nintendo Switch. And yes, I do like the fact that Nintendo proves to the industry that you don't have to have the most graphical system and hardware or graphical games to have fun. You can just have fun just playing regular games.
And 10-year generations are okay. That's what they're also proving.
10-year generation. Well, I mean, in a way, they kind of pushed it a little bit. I'll give them that. But because Nintendo does like keep their ecosystem fresh with a lot of games, I'll give them a pass. They actually support their platform very well.
All right. So, Mister, I don't care until I get a Switch 2. Jubei, what did you think of the Nintendo Direct?
Great show. A lot of things I'm interested in. I still don't care until we get a Switch 2 though. Like I am not buying any of these for the regular Switch until I know for a fact that the Switch 2 won't run them, which I highly doubt that they'll do. Notable, of course, is Marvel vs. Capcom. If that does not come to Xbox, I will more than likely just get it on Steam. Like that's the next closest thing. I'm gonna go wherever my fight sticks work. I am not going to buy another fight stick for that game. Just to play it on PlayStation or Switch or what have you. Sorry. It's not in me. Seeing Metroid was fucking dope. The Mario Luigi game looks tight. Also having a Perfect Dark on the expansion pass for the Switch is pretty cool. Like I feel like we're getting real close to having a solid N64 experience on there. More Ace Attorney is never a bad thing either. Like I mean, I'm gonna have to echo you guys' sentiments like that. That's a great way to send off your console. Like if the Switch 2 is indeed dropping next year, which I hope it is, because just because these games look cool does not necessarily mean they're going to run all that great on the Switch 1. So
I mean,
hoping Switch 2 is like, yeah, play all your Switch 1 games but better, and then yeah, I will be grabbing all those that I can once I get a Switch 2.
All right. And let's see, Mr. JRPG me, Kofi.
Mhm.
What were your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, I gotta admit, this was also to me a very impressive show. Like between I think Mario Brothers and even the Zelda game. At first, I was thinking, well, do I really want to play as Princess Zelda? And then I actually thought about it and said, mechanically, it will be very, very refreshing. They're going to find new ways to kind of explore or to fight enemies, as I showed in the trailer, to defeat enemies, and it almost looked like a puzzle,
Yeah.
like a real time puzzle. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. So I'm really, really excited for that. I will say that, like, in terms of games I love from Zelda, I'm looking for that Link to the Past remake that will make me absolutely scream. But I will definitely take this because it just feels like a completely fresh take. And like you and Reggie said, it isn't the first Princess Zelda game that she's the main character, but it's like 25, 30 years, right? Like the first one was like on, I don't know, the NES?
It was the 80s.
It
Yeah,
was the
like
80s, yeah.
yeah, it was a long time ago.
So, yeah, definitely really exciting. What else was I going to say though? I'm sorry. There was something else that was shown there that made me really. Oh, okay. So yeah, I gotta give a shout out. I know Reggie knows what I'm gonna say. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Great game. I love it. It's amazing. I'm looking for my Capcom versus SNK. Like 3.
So,
That's what I know. 2 is
the
available.
success of this game will lead us to that. I'm telling you.
This is true.
Well, you got your taste of Capcom versus SNK with a couple characters being released to Street Fighter 6.
Yes, and
Yep.
I am now like buying Street Fighter 6 as soon as Terry is released. As soon, just to show my support.
Yeah.
for sure. Because that was
Yeah.
like when I saw it, I was like, "Holy crap! Like this is
Yeah,
amazing."
it's good.
Yeah.
And I really like 6. I just haven't prioritized time with it. So
Yep,
I like 6. 6 is
you're
cool.
right.
yeah.
6 is great.
I just wish that the stories behind the characters was a little bit more in depth when you go through there when you play with each character. But other than that, yeah, it's a really good game.
There was something else shown besides. Oh, really quick criticisms, and I'm curious, like what you guys think about this. I like that Donkey Kong was there, right? They brought Donkey Kong back from what was it, the GameCube version or something like this, or this Wii version.
The
That was
Wii
cool.
U, yeah,
The
it's
Wii
like
U version,
Yeah.
which is great. I am really excited that hopefully we'll see some of these IPs that they don't use as much since the 360. I'm sorry, 360. Since the N64 will come back. I'm really thinking Star Fox. I honestly find that them having that GameCube game where Star Fox was kind of on a planet exploring with some combat. I think
Oh,
that could be combined with the traditional flight experience that really is what I'm looking for. And you could have a really awesome experience. So something like that. Another 3D Donkey Kong, I think is kind of something else I was hoping to hear from. But if it's on another platform, like the next platform, then heck yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, I would love
All the
Starfield,
performances.
Star Fox. It says Starfield. Star Fox to be a launch title for the next Switch. Like really
Yes,
to show off the hardware and all that. I would
Yeah.
really like that.
I would be in line for that or whatever, waiting from Amazon for that, for sure. And there's one other IP. Reggie, you mentioned Kid Icarus. I definitely would be hyped for that. There's something else though that I feel like has been missing for 2 gens. It might come to me later.
The easiest thing is, are they in Smash?
Oh, wait a minute, wait. Oh no, that game has a bunch of games that came out. I can't think of what other one, but no, it's great. It's great to see everything that they're working on, and obviously, like Monolith Soft, I'm always rooting for Monolith Soft. I'm sure they're working on something really cool. So, yeah, really great show. 9 out of 10 for me.
All right, okay. And last but not least, I know you don't own a Switch, but I know, you're a fan of games. So, what were your impressions of the show, Omar?
So yeah, if not for knowing that the two Switch 2 existed, this is the most that I've wanted to buy a Switch. Like the Zelda games, I'm so down with it. The Fantasia game, I know it's multi-plat. I know it's on PC, so I can get it there. It's great. I'm excited for it. Mario turn-based RPG, sign me the fuck up. That shit looks fantastic. And not to mention Dragon Quest 1 remake and 2 and 3 in the making.
Mm-hmm.
I think like better, something like that. They showcased one Dragon Quest and they said that the second one is in the making, is a remake.
Okay.
So it's 2026. So yeah, great showing all by all. What Nintendo did best, they showed a lot of the first party, and that's not the important part. The important part is they showed gameplay. Even when they debuted the game, they literally went to gameplay. They didn't go to CGI. They didn't care about CGI. Here, this is coming here. This is coming this day. And the crazy part is this Zelda game is literally gonna be the same time with Astrobot. So that's gonna be fantastic. Back to back gaming like that. And then the the ice cream on the cake, it's Metroid. Like they finally revealed it, and it looks stunning. It looks so stunning to the point that you're questioning yourself: is this running on the normal Switch, or is this a cross gen between the between the normal Switch and the next gen Switch? We will see. But yeah, great showing. I would give it a 10.
Okay.
Like, it was impressive. It was amazing.
Okay. All right. I expected everyone to. Oh, what were you gonna say? Zero.
I was saying I was curious, Nappy, because I know you're a fan. Well, three of us are a fan of the Virtue's last Zero Escape games. But Spike Chunsoft's latest game, the 100-line Last Defense Academy, it's part of the Danganronpa series, which is basically just the Zero Escape games.
Interesting.
Yo, and really quick, since we're on that topic, isn't Raid Code out on other platforms this month? Did you ever get that, Reggie?
I never got it, but I think you're right. I think it is out this month.
Dude, I'm like, I literally, so I'm gonna do like a
now?
bundle of imports. I'm getting like Shin Megami Tensei 5 for PlayStation 5 and Rain Code and another import next, like in July. I just want to get all my shipping together, but I'm getting Rain Code, so I'm excited, man. Really, really excited.
Yep, it actually comes out next in 6 days.
Ooh!
Oh man.
Yeah, looks like it's not coming out on PC. So
Man. Zero is literally the only panel member that we don't respect his gamer name.
Wow.
wow.
It's fine.
I keep calling you Reggie. It's the great Zero.
It's fine.
Government flies out every
I got nothing to
episode. But as expected, everyone brought up Capcom, the Capcom game, Marvel vs. Capcom. But surprisingly, nobody brought up Lego Horizon showing up on that stage, which I thought was pretty cool. But as far as let's go right to it on the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and it skipping Xbox. That drew a lot of controversy from the community. At first, it was swirling about that it was an MT framework issue with Microsoft. But then Maximilian dude came out. I guess he has a little bit more knowledge than most people, and he said it has nothing to do with the MT framework. It's simply that Microsoft does not want people making Xbox One games anymore.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So basically, I guess Microsoft may or may not have denied the game based on it not having an Xbox Series S and X version.
Question: what about the is the 360 arcade version still available? Well, I know that the Xbox arcade is going down in July, so
I didn't check. I do have Capcom Arcade downloaded on my Xbox, but I haven't actually opened it up to see what it entails.
Yeah, because Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out in Xbox.
No, there's a Capcom Arcade.
Capcom Arcade is not the same. There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have the MVC games in it.
And as you know, MVC2 is not backwards compatible, even though it is on the arcade. If I want to play that, I'm either emulating it or I have a 360. Like that.
Yeah, you can. You can.
Serious?
You can play
out of all the arcade games. That's the one that's not backwards compatible or forwards compatible.
No MVC2 from the 360.
Yeah,
I don't care. They don't even have to fucking update it.
I mean.
Yeah, I'm about to say it can run on a potato. It can run on it.
Right.
It can run on a phone.
You can pay $20 for the dev mode on your Xbox and emulate Marvel vs. Capcom 2 if you really want to. It's
but you can't play online with other people.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's
and then and literally we have like less than like 3 weeks left before the 360 store closes down for good.
Yep. They got a lot of sales regarding that, but I don't want to make it. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a big game, but me personally, I'm not gonna make the biggest deal if it doesn't come to the Xbox, mainly because I have all the other platforms that it's on.
At least it's on PC.
Those of us with arcade sticks, I don't feel like spending another $200.
Hey, your arcade stick can work on PC though, and this game literally.
And that's why I said I will be getting it on Steam. If it really isn't coming, I'll get it on Steam. It's fine.
It literally says a GTX 4070. That card is over like damn near 20 years old. What the fuck?
And as far as whatever the issues are regarding the game not coming to Xbox, I feel like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is one of those games that you just make an exception for. Like, you don't make an exception for all of them. But Marvel, if you don't want any more Xbox One games, cool. But Marvel vs. Capcom 2, or if it's an MT framework issue, whatever that issue is, you address it for a title like that. But if it skips it, then then this is one of them that you just chalk up to this is Xbox's loss, and they're gonna miss out on a 30% cut on every sale of that game on their platform. That's kind of how I look at it.
That,
Yeah, it's
and
popular with
trust and
Americans.
believe that game is going to fucking sell because
Yeah, everybody's about to get it on PC.
I mean, is it gonna sell?
it is. It
Yes,
absolutely
yes.
is.
I think
You don't understand the cult following behind Marvel vs. Capcom 2. There's people.
I've been
it's
making memes about bringing back MVC2
It's
for
broke.
years.
I triple
literally broke the internet.
Hadouken is my
Are you
team.
concerned of wanting to sell on
Sakura,
Xbox?
Ryu, and Akuma.
no, in general. I mean, I know it's gonna sell decently. But I think lifetime sales, I think it's like around 20 something million. So I mean, I guess when it comes out again and it's been out over multiple generations, I can see it selling like 5 to 7 million copies, which is really good for a fighter.
I do not like the aspect ratios. I wish they would have opened like a landscape mode for PC port.
Let's see.
Ew. That's the only downside to this port is there is no landscape version. Well, I guess I don't care. Beggars can't be choosers.
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 actually outsold Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
It wasn't as good though.
Yeah, and Marvel vs. Capcom 3 sold 5 million copies lifetime. So
yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 definitely didn't get as popular until a bit later in its life cycle. If you've seen, like, a lot of people are recalling, like, what we famously loved the music for was sort of universally hated. Like, people did not like the cool jazz that they had going on there, and Take You for a Ride playing like every 8 seconds was far more annoying than it is how people love it today. I don't disagree with you, actually, Pharaoh. Like, Marvel's Capcom 2 is going to do well, I hope. It's not gonna be The Last of Us, right? Like, it can't be. But I'm frustrated, or I'm disappointed with Xbox if it's true that they just skipped it, because I'm looking at this from Marvel's perspective. Like, I want this game to do very well. You brought up Maximilian Dude, who back in, I think, 2010 sort of helped spearhead with a bunch of other folks this sort of free Marvel campaign, where Marvel's Capcom 2 was just stuck in this one place, and all people were asking for was just to play that game again. Like, not a new one, not an updated one. You didn't have to fix anything. The game is sort of famously broken for the most part, but we just wanted to play Marvel 2, and no one was doing it. No one was giving it the opportunity. And then one day, out of nowhere, it appeared again on everything except for Xbox, and I'm just frustrated because for a game like Marvel 2, everywhere you can play it is beneficial to that game.
Yeah.
Like, there's no large amount of winning saying, like, oh, PlayStation got Marvel, or Xbox got Marvel, or Nintendo got Marvel. Like, it doesn't matter. Everybody should be able to play this game because it's been locked away forever, and the emulation scene doesn't really count because most people aren't doing it.
Yeah.
Don't know how to, or aren't going to go any further than, if I can't come home and press the button and it works, then I'm not doing it.
And plus, Marvel kind of went after people. Well, not Marvel, but because of Disney or Sony having rights to Spider-Man, and there was some other stuff, you can't host Marvel vs. Capcom 2 tournaments with the emulator version.
Yeah. So you're just sort of stuck doing Fightcade with your own people. And, like, you can run your own sort of quote-unquote personal tournaments, just not very big. But, man, I want this game to be everywhere because I want this game to succeed. Even if we don't ever get another Marvel versus out of it, that's fine. I just would like for this game to do well.
Oh, definitely.
Greatness.
Yeah,
Greatness,
but
greatness.
I mean, it's hard. It's just hard for me to say it's gonna sell crazy. I think it'll sell well. It's just hard for me to say it's gonna sell crazy when it didn't necessarily sell crazy originally. I do think there's a nostalgia factor that'll push it. But yeah, I can see it topping out around 5 to 7 million copies, which I think will be like the best selling um, Capcom fighting game. So, outside of the Street Fighters, of course. So, yeah, I think that would outdo like Street Fighter versus Tekken. That'd probably be, if it does like 7 million, I think it'll top all the versus games. So
That'd be excellent.
yeah,
And for folks like Kofi, like that might lead interest to Capcom versus SNK, or any of the other various Capcom games, fighting games that sort of went by the wayside over the years.
Capcom versus everything.
And it's crazy because I just saw people posting that you can purchase like Street Fighter versus Tekken right now on the Xbox store for like $1.99. So like, and those are those are 360 games. So yeah, I mean, it's right there.
It's just Marvel 2, weirdly for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, remember 360 market is closing down, so everything is like on discount.
No, I'm just saying it's crazy that you can buy other of these Capcom games, but you can't buy Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for some particular reason. It's probably literally a licensing thing. It's probably all it is. But yeah. Unless someone else has anything else for this particular topic, we can dive on to topic number 2 of the day, which has gotten a little spicy on the internet. So everyone's talking about it, so we're going to talk about it. And it's the Black Myth Wukong, and its exclusion of the Xbox. Now, when it first got announced at the Summer Games Fest, it showed up on the splash screen with no mention of Xbox. People had to go to the FAQs, and to see that it was in FAQs, they were saying it was an optimization issue with the Series S, and that they would be dropping it on the Xbox platform, as soon as they could. All right, cool. So fast forward maybe like a week later after the Xbox show, a lot of these podcasters and everyone comes home. Iron Lord's podcast, King David, comes out and he says that he spoke with Sarah Bond and that she said it wasn't a Series S issue at all. It was just a business thing. Then a couple more days later, Jez Corden of Windows Central follows up, and it seems like Xbox got a little bit spicy and defensive in their response to what's going on with the Black Myth Wukong game, saying that they cannot speak on deals that their partners have made with other platforms, which is basically a roundabout way of saying that Black Myth Wukong made a deal with another platform, and that's why it's skipping to Xbox. And that has just drawn a lot of different opinions across the gaming community. And we're kind of the perfect panel to talk about it because everyone on this platform basically has a different platform preference outside of, I think, maybe me and Jube. But yeah, so I'm going to throw it down to the most neutral person first, being that his platform of preference is Nintendo. What were your thoughts seeing all this transpire over the past couple weeks while we were not podcasting?
I thought it was actually a little interesting. I want to make a long story short. It feels like, at least based on how everybody's responding, like there was definitely a general deal, Black Myth Wukong for everybody, and then in the 11th hour, Black Myth Wukong just for Sony, and it was like, and it seemed as though the Xbox side was a little taken aback by that. Like, why? Like, what happened? What are we doing here? Like, did they help you develop something, or
Oh, I got echo.
Wait, there is double audio.
Yeah, I muted him for a second.
okay. So to sort of figure out like what's going on. Why did you sort of make this decision? I echo again. Oh no, it's back.
Uh,
I changed headphones. It was dying.
So I'm really not sure what's going on. However, what it does, quite frankly, I don't know. The only thing I can assume is that somebody had a meeting and somebody either offered somebody something, or this was always a part of the plan, and somebody was always going to get sort of cut out. But as far as I understand, it's not as though the game isn't coming to Xbox, it's just coming later.
yes. So,
Right, okay.
So basically, if there is some sort of deal in place, it's a silent, timed exclusivity type of situation.
Right.
If that is to be the case.
If that's true with the case.
Yeah.
But we do know it's not canceled on Xbox. It's just not coming. It's not releasing day one on Xbox.
Yes.
As far as we understand. And right now, we just don't really have a reason as to why, outside of assuming that either Sony did something or these developers did something.
Well, we got a lot of different finger pointing going on. And we have corporate finger pointing going on, which makes it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, and I agree, because it becomes sort of like, speaking of Nintendo, right? It becomes a Nintendo PlayStation deal, where a Sony deal, where it was like, hey guys, we're gonna make this thing, and Nintendo was like, nah. And so it was like, what the hell just happened? I thought everybody was on board for what we were going to do, and you just backed out at the last second. I have absolutely no clue. It definitely doesn't sound like Xbox is happy. I do not know how much support this company might get from Xbox in the future because of this. So it'll be interesting. I love a good corporate fight, so I hopefully it like spirals out of control in hilarious ways.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting, because I believe the company is Chinese based, and I think it's called Game Science. I think that's the name of the company, and I believe this is their first AAA game. So, this game is kind of like in that Callisto Protocols type situation, where we're making our first AAA game, and the success of this game could very well determine if we're able to make games in the future. So yeah, it is a very interesting situation for sure. I want to get Kofi's impressions, and then I'm gonna go to Nappy.
Okay, yeah. I for once, sometimes I want to like laugh and say, ah ha ha, like Xbox takes another L. They can't get the game day one. But this time around, I actually was looking forward to something like Black Myth coming to Xbox. Obviously not buying it on that platform, but I don't think that game was coming to Game Pass, and I'd like to see people buying that game, for the console, showing the physical copies. There's a lot of Xbox people I follow on Twitter, and it's always good to see them like celebrating things, especially like, I'm usually like retweeting Xbox gamers who get their RPGs physical, because it's just kind of hard.
Yeah, Xbox gamers do not buy physical games for the most part.
There's some for the majority.
Yes, I'm speaking for the majority of the base. They do not buy physical copies. They enjoy the features of the console that require you to purchase the game digitally in order to enjoy those features. So
right, but outside of physical and digital, I definitely wanted to see the game sell, because I don't necessarily want the platform Xbox is today to change much. I mean, yes, you know how I feel about Game Pass, but I still want them to have a physical console that has games that sell on it and people are excited to buy. those new IPs, for that platform, whether third party or an Elden Ring or something like that. So, I guess I'm saying all that because if it is a delayed release, I don't know if it will help the sales whenever it comes out. To me, it will
It
hurt
won't.
it.
Yeah, definitely heard it.
Yeah. So, and that's kind of like unfortunate because, like you're saying, like game science is new. I have a lot of faith in game science. This might sound a little bit for me to assume, but because their dev cycle was to me so long, they were able to show gameplay like a half decade ago. I think literally, we saw it 2019. So it's almost like 5 years that we've actually
Yeah,
seen like
like a half decade
satisfying.
ago.
Yeah, you're right. That would be a decade ago. That's crazy that
Half
we have
decade
total
ago.
like gameplay, like not like crap gameplay, like gameplay that made all of us sit forward in our chairs. They're like, nope, see you in 5 years. So I'm very confident that a lot of this game is going to be done right. And so for it to be as big as it's looking, I don't want I want NDP numbers to show for Wukong on all platforms that it's coming to or supposed to come to. So I'm disappointed. I think overall with whatever's going on, right? If PlayStation did seal some sort of exclusive deal, I don't. I don't know. Like to me, this year, based on the third-party support that they've had, I'm already overwhelmed with things that are not on Xbox. It's just to me like the list is very long. Like 70% of the games I play don't come to Xbox.
Yeah,
So I'm
as
like,
an import gamer for sure they don't.
right, exactly. Like
Yeah.
Trails is coming out. I played East. Like in addition to I don't know, well obviously like Rebirth or Ronin or Stellar. So or like Helldivers. So
Well,
I'm more than satisfied.
Stellar was supposed to come to Xbox originally when it was Project Eve.
That's true. Like before they ran out of funding.
Yeah.
Yeah, they for sure. So yeah, but that's just how I feel about it for this particular game. I think this is a game that to me would resonate with maybe like Xbox gamers that all they do is play the most generic, annualized series, and they might have tried something a little bit different, and they might have bought it and it do numbers, and that excited me. But that's just my 2 cents.
Okay. Cool. How do you feel about Xbox, the corporation, kind of taking a stand and standing up for the Xbox Series S publicly on this matter, kind of a little bit?
Oh, what was the exact quote for S that they made?
They didn't make a quote. They were asked about the game being delayed due to the S, and they basically refuted that, and they said we can't really comment on the deals our partners make with other platforms. So basically they called out game science on them saying that it's a Series S issue.
Okay, now I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that is what they have to do. I mean, I don't think they're going to say, well, the S does have issues, and we understand that maybe delaying it is the best choice.
But I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've seen them publicly come out against a developer.
Yeah,
when they've said something of we're having issues with the Series S, and basically in corporate speak, kind of call bullshit on it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess when I see maybe you disagree with me. When I see a developer being a dev cycle for this long, I tend to agree with them. Unless they got the kits for Xbox really late and they didn't, spend their time correctly, I tend to buy it. And a lot of the AAA devs have talked about, limitations, right? Whether it be the Baldur's Gate devs or I don't know. There's at least a handful of them that have said, "Hey, like it can work, but there's some sacrifices that might compromise the experience." And
well, I think with the Baldur's Gate, they didn't necessarily the sacrifice that they made was just not doing split screen on Series S. So it's just they just dropped a feature entirely off of the game. Other than that, it was fine.
yeah, I mean, I think it's reasonable to disagree with me. It seems there seems to be enough patterns with some game titles that have a lot of how would you say, high production? Is it fair to say Baldur's Gate's a high production? Maybe not, but it does have a lot going
I would
on.
think it's high
Well,
production.
with Larian Studios, isn't necessarily the largest studio either. So
Yeah.
small, mid-sized studio, trying to make a very ambitious title. Um, you know, I
Am I
guess
the only one on the panel who actually, I guess, likes the Series S? Particularly, I'm pretty sure I'm the only one who owns one, right?
I don't own it. I
I
don't.
got one for my daughter, so I've
Oh, but I feel like you've always been pretty like, nah, we're done with it, Jubei. Like, just give us the X.
I mean, I feel like you should get an X. Like, I'm glad people have a cheaper option, but I also know that's not the best way to be playing these or trying to be playing these games. So,
Yeah, like I've always felt you were just like, I mean, it's cool that's there, but
like,
nah, we're
it
fine.
punches above
Everybody
its
just
weight
go get
in
an
some
X.
things. Right, it
Yeah.
punches above its weight in some things, but honestly, I kind of wish that they had given us a smaller 1X. You know, like it's crazy when you think about that. Like there's games the 1X still kills the Series S in, and that's like an entire generation ago. You feel me? Like that's crazy.
It definitely is crazy. The what was I gonna say? It's really up to Xbox over the next 15, 16 months with the games they release to really show you know what the S is capable of. No one can show your hardware off better than you can. So your first party titles got to do it. Call of Duty got to slap on that S. And everything else that comes around it. About Stalker 2, that's not their game, but they've supported that studio a lot. So all those games they got to show well on there. And that's just what it is. Nappy, what are your thoughts on the old back and forth between Game Science and Xbox these past couple weeks?
Well, I have to say that I am not a fan of Black Wukong not coming to the Series S next. It is honestly like if you're not like owned by Microsoft or Sony, you should not have these exclusivity loyalties to a certain console. You should try to get your game out to as many people as possible on many different platforms as possible. As far as the back and forth, I I can kind of see how the Series S, based off looking at Wukong, seeing that it's a fast-paced hack and slash action adventure type game. And I could tell that it focused more so on frame rate than graphics. So I can see the Series S running this game. Maybe not the same frame rate as the X, but I can see this game running on the Series S, like around like 30, and I can see the Series X running at 60. So unless there's like a 1080p mode and the Series S runs it at 60 at 1080p, which I don't think that's a problem. It's the battle back and forth thing, the backwards deals. I mean, honestly, console wars was like this console wars starting to get old. It's real. This whole argument about that's why we get this game, you don't get this game. It's
Well,
it's getting a little old.
I can see that, but I was thinking about it, and it feels like we're starting to see the corporate side of console. Like we're seeing console war from a corporate perspective more than ever. Typically it was like it was like a fanboy push thing. Like in the early '90s, it was done through commercials.
Yeah, then the 2000s was basically done by the people.
Yeah, but now it seems like it's starting to go back to where we're starting to see these companies, um, through layered corporate speak. We're starting to see it kind of come back to being kind of console worry. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I guess because I guess they want you to play on their console. It's still interesting to me that there's still a lot of PlayStation 4 owners So I mean, like, I don't know how much money Sony could have put into this company's pocket as far as making it exclusive for their first couple of months. I hope it's worth it because at the same time when the hype dies down for a game, there's a chance that people may forget about it and probably wait for a discount at that point.
It's not always about the money though. Sometimes it's just the marketing, because as soon as these showcases were over, I saw on Twitter, I saw the PlayStation Twitter page marketing Wukong pretty well.
But they always do it with their games. No
Well,
matter
it's not,
what.
but it's not their game. That's the thing. It's a
No.
third party game.
I'm talking about whatever is showcased. They showcase it again. They hype it up. They want to sell from it. Like we have yet to. I will talk when it's my turn.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was more prevalent. I saw it more than
I mean,
if you compare
I-
this and Stellar Blade, will you agree that Stellar Blade have way more what do you call it, advertisement?
Yeah, because they bought publishing rights. So yeah, of course. They had a lot. They had a lot more. They had a lot more skin in the game with Stellar Blade because they purchased the publishing rights for it.
I mean, honestly, I don't think Black Wukong needed the extra publicity from Sony. I honestly think it was good enough by itself. So
Absolutely.
for the fact,
I wanted it since like when they first announced it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. We're making assumptions that this happened.
I mean,
No, we're not making any
are.
assumptions. We're going off of just the corporate speak that we've been given.
Dude,
yeah.
corporate speak. What happened when at first Baldur's Gate 3 got revealed now to be on Xbox? What was the very first sentence that Jubei said? Remind me.
Well, I don't know what Jubei said, but I know that
I said only to be incorrect.
Well,
The issue is
there's a difference between Jubei saying it and a Microsoft representative alluding to that. This has never happened before. This is why we're bringing it up. We've never seen Microsoft come. We've never seen Microsoft come out and say it's not the. We've never seen Microsoft come out and say it's not the S. It's a corporate deal that we can't speak on.
We have never seen.
That's a court case. That's what people don't really get. Like, why would you lie about something like that? Like,
we have never seen PlayStation having deal with a game and not showcase it literally on the front page of their stuff, literally plastered all over the screen and brag about it. Like PlayStation always, when they have a deal, they let you know they have a deal. Am I wrong, Kofi?
This is true. I think that they might need to, say something, because it seems like this could stir up some sort of
and besides, Black Wukong already had the first drama with the Sweet Baby Ink thing, so this game does not need any more negative publicity than it already got.
Like, I don't know if this one will hurt, the developer at long term.
That already hurted them because now you have Xbox 2 saying, "I'm not buying it." I thought that's literally the truth.
I'm not gonna say Xbox isn't buying it. It's just that
you've had quite a few. You had quite a few Xbox gamers saying that if that's the case, that they just won't buy it when it comes to the platform. So
they'll probably wait for a sale. I mean, to be honest with you, we don't know how long this exclusivity is, but making, like, for me as a PC gamer, waiting for PlayStation games to come out, even when it comes out with all the DLC, I can sometimes still just wait for one of the 4 sales on Steam to purchase the game. I can't remember the last PlayStation game that came on to PC that I paid full price for.
Here is an example of a game that Microsoft hyped up and showcased at their showcase. Stalker 2. this game is coming to PlayStation. How would you know? Because they literally said 3 months exclusivity deals. Like, when shit like this happen, you're gonna hear about it.
Yeah, Xbox did purchase a window of exclusivity with Stalker 2, but they came out and said that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. When companies have exclusivity deals, they gotta let other people know.
No, they don't always have to let them know.
No, they don't. Some,
No,
they don't
no,
have
no,
to.
no, they don't. Like, cause
Tell
they
them if
like
they want to.
like we didn't know that that Resident Evil 8 had a deal with
Resident
Sony.
Evil, or actually better yet,
Village.
Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a year, and it's still not on Xbox till this day. So I mean, not every deal do we get knowledge of. Like
which game is not still on to this day?
Remake.
Remake.
It was a year exclusivity, and
Final Fantasy. I thought you said Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Okay.
no, I said Resident Evil
No, it's
Village.
not.
I said Resident Evil Village had a deal with Sony, that we didn't know about until the documents leaked. So there's like a Game Pass clause that was in the contract. There was a couple other different things that were in the contract with the Resident Evil Village that we didn't know about, but the contract leaked and we got privy to that information. So we don't know everything, but we know enough to have educated opinions on what's going on in the industry for sure.
I don't know. Like I said, these console exclusive, these time exclusivities, I really am curious. Does this really make these companies more money? Because the only thing I could think of who did time exclusivities is Square Enix. I don't know if they made a lot of money off of their time exclusivities.
And Yobi made a great point when it came to Tomb Raider. When Xbox locked up exclusivity for that, it wasn't supposed to be known that it was coming to PlayStation until the public bullied them so bad that they had to come out and say that it will come to PlayStation after a certain window of time. So yeah, we don't know everything that goes on with these deals. We just we find out when we find out, and however that we find out. Like when the ABK deal was going on, and we found out about how many deals PlayStation had, we didn't know about all of them, but we knew about a good amount of them. That happens from time to time. But I'm gonna swing it up to our other toxic console fanboy, Jube. What are your thoughts on all this drama between Game Science and Xbox in recent weeks?
I mean, an executive isn't going to come out and say something like that if there's not some smoke. So we don't know. It's all still speculation, but I just find it interesting that was the word choice that was used. Because then it's like, okay, then what was all this talk about optimization? Were you lying then, or are you lying now? Kind of thing, you know what I mean? So like, what are we? I don't care. I'm gonna get the game, whenever it comes out, even if it is delayed on Xbox. It's not. They didn't say it was never coming to Xbox. They just said it's delayed. So I will be copying that regardless.
So, I will say this. If I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole, and I'm gonna say that Game Science took a check from Sony for an exclusivity window, and then they used the Series S as the reason for not releasing on time to the Xbox, I would go down the rabbit hole and say that they were told to do that. If that were indeed the 100% true case, because they don't have any benefit in saying that, but Sony definitely has benefit in saying like, oh, the S is trash. So, if that were truly the case, I would say that they did it at at the direction of the person who gave them the money. So
Oof. But that would require like the documentation for that contract to come out, which
well, it don't always got to be on paper. It can just be a conversation, but
you need proof that that was said. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. I'm not diving down, but I do think that the discourse around the topic was enough to bring it up and make it a topic, and we've actually talked about it for quite a bit of time. So definitely was topic worthy.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how the game does, and if the studio does do well and is able to make more games, what does that relationship with Xbox look like in the future?
Right.
Because the next game wouldn't come out until the next generation of these consoles come out anyway.
I mean, I honestly hope Xbox can segue this into coming to Game Pass because of, hey, throw us a bone for the inconvenience.
Well, if they signed a marketing deal, Game Pass could be a part of that marketing deal that it doesn't go there. So that is a possibility as well. It may not come to Game Pass. If that were indeed the case. But Xbox gamers, they had a great showcase. They're going to be eating fine. If they miss if they miss Wukong, won't be no skin off their back. They got what 6-7 first party games coming to them before the end of the year's up. So
do they have an action? Do they have a hack and slash? Any of those games hack and slash?
Are any of them hack and slash? Unless
adventure games.
Unless Wu Chung is coming out this year, I would think to say no.
That look way more slowly.
Yeah, but it still has.
But we know Black Myth is just an ARPG though. It's not a Souls.
It's not Souls, no.
But I don't think any of the titles that were announced for Xbox within this year are hack and slash type games. I don't think any of them were. I'd have to go back and watch the showcase. Because the only hack and slash game I can think of was South of Midnight, and that's not coming out this year.
I mean, it's unfortunate. I don't think that the company really needs Sony's money for marketing. The game is marketed just fine. Like I said, it recently had the controversy with Sweet Baby Inc., and apparently that increased the pre-order numbers and gave it positive attention. So.
Speaking of Sweet Baby Inc., apparently some shareholders, I think at either Square Enix
is reevaluating their relationship with Sweet Baby Inc. because a lot of people don't like Sweet Baby Inc. and changing some stuff up in games to make it more culturally appropriate. I don't think culturally appropriate will even be the proper word.
Well, I can say if Sweet Baby Inc. had any involvement with Final Fantasy Rebirth, I can see exactly where, or with Final Fantasy 7 in general, I can see exactly where it took place. I'll say that much.
You dare say? Does it begin with the character begin with the T?
There's one character that begins with a T, another character that begins with a Y.
Oh god, I know, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Tifa with the cowgirl outfit, and Yuffie with her signature unbuttoned pants. So it was unbuttoned in the remake DLC, and then in Rebirth, and since the patch, it's buttoned now. So if it was if Sweet Baby Inc. was involved with it, that would be their involvement. That's not something I would complain about, but
you don't mess with these people. Fantasize about these people. Buy waifu pillows. Okay, you do not fuck with these characters.
And they changed the outfit and only in the mainline PlayStation game, but on the mobile side with the Ever Crisis and all that, which is also on Steam, they didn't change it. So, just interesting.
So
yeah,
we know what's them call it. Which Inc. is involved in Spider-Man 2.
Here we go.
No, but the question is,
I'm not putting that all on Sweet Baby. Some of that's on Insomniac.
Whoa, wait. I'll say this for you, Omar. You got the Eastern version. So
what?
Sweet Baby Inc., the Eastern version of Spider-Man 2, they ripped out a lot of stuff that the Western version got. Let's just say.
No, he's in the Netherlands. He got the Western version.
You did?
Yeah, he's in the Netherlands. He got the Western version.
I thought he was on the eastern part of the world. I mean,
No,
Nah.
I'm
okay.
from the Netherlands. I
Yeah.
got the normal version.
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the our version.
Yeah, he got the Western version. But yeah, I mean,
My thing is, what's her name? Felicia. She looks stunning. If
God,
they,
I knew we were going here.
am I wrong?
No, you're right. Trust me, somebody has already went out their way and pointed out every single male character and every single female character, and every time Sweet Baby Inc.'s involved, they notice that the female characters don't look like their models, but look more so not as attractive.
When it comes to Spider-Man 2, I'll say what they did to Mary Jane was criminal. It looks like I
ain't gonna lie, it was wrong.
It looks like one of the developers at Insomniac made herself Mary Jane. They posted a picture of the developer. She looks strikingly similar to the Mary Jane model in Spider-Man 2. And
that's nothing like the model.
And Mary Jane, to the comics, she was a very beautiful woman. She was a model, and that's not the Mary Jane that we got in the game. So
she's badass with the taser, at least.
Shame on them. I'll say that much. Stay true to the comics as much as you can. Stay true to the source materials. What I always say, it's a great guide when it comes to these types of stories. But with that being said, I think we hit this Black Myth topic on the head, and we can jump into our final topic of the day, which I think was also was a little spicy if you read between the lines, and that is, hold on, let me hit our final topic of the day, the Matt Booty interview with Vanity Fair, that dropped last week. I know most of us probably didn't read it, but there's some of the highlights, specifically in regards to Tango. Every time we got a chance to hear Sarah speak on it, and she didn't give us a lot. Then we got a chance to hear Phil speak on it. We got a little bit more, but still wasn't a lot. And then I feel like if you take all three together, you get a pretty good picture of why Tango closed. When you get to Matt Booty's part of the conversation, and basically, what he said was there was a lack of faith in the leadership at Tango Gameworks after Shinji Mikami and his people left, and that they attempted to do the same thing that they did with Toys for Bob, but that wasn't feasible for the studio, and that he even alluded to Tango being shopped and no one wanting to buy the studio. So it seems like it was just nobody wanted them, and they were unable to even support themselves if they were to go independent, which I thought was pretty interesting. And we also saw that he's very much committed to exclusives for the console, because he's the president of software now at Microsoft, at Xbox. And forgot there was one more thing. Oh, and in regards to them not giving release dates, he spoke specifically making sure that the games are strategically released at the perfect time and place for them to do their best and to kind of stay out of the way of their partners' titles that may, they may cannibalize their sales or may cannibalize their partner sales. It was definitely an interesting interview. I encourage people to go out and give it a full read when you get a chance. I'm gonna throw it over to Jubei first on this one. I don't know if he read the actual interview, but based on what you've seen and heard, what are your thoughts on the comments from Matt Booty?
I'm gonna be honest. I skimmed it. Like I
Okay.
didn't really, reading executive interviews, especially with people like Matt Booty, is not my
Cup of tea.
not the most interesting thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but from what I did make out from what he said, just he the elephant in the room is Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah.
Like that's why all those 2025 games have no dates on them, because all they're doing is waiting for the finalization of the release date for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Jubei, we already know that game's coming in October. Come on now.
If it delays out, that opens things up.
Yeah,
So,
but I say like unless there's a delay, it's dropping holiday season. It's not
like as soon as they know when it's gonna drop. But I don't think it should come out in October. Honestly, I think it should come out in August.
August is possible, but typically those games drop like right in the holiday window, and the holiday window is considered October to December. So that's.
But then, oh wait, there's no COD next year, so.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought we were getting COD this year though.
Yeah, you're getting it this year.
Worry about. Yeah, like I was happy to hear like the commitment to exclusives, and the stuff makes sense. You know what I mean? Just as far as him wanting to focus on giving his games room to breathe. If we are gonna get like that one game a quarter thing, then they have to do that in a way that makes sense. And we have more than one game a quarter already scheduled for next year. So
yeah,
yeah, like what's the best way to do that?
Avowed
Shoot yourself in the foot.
Apparently, Avowed's been done for like months, so they're sitting on some games that are already done.
I believe it.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much. Just like I said, I skimmed through the interview. I'm not a fan of Matt Booty myself. So I'm not gonna, go out and seek out his interviews, but that's just me.
Okay. Well, he's in control of the games that come to your platform now. The first party development of the games that come to your platform now. So, he is in control of all of that.
Maybe I'm just still mad about Tango.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How do you feel about the fact that they tried to allow them to go independent, tried to sell them, and
The thing is, didn't Shinji Mikami says he leaving the studio in good hands?
He may have said that, but that apparently wasn't true.
I mean, it's true.
Evidence suggests otherwise.
He could have also been being polite in the Japanese way. So
because I mean, Ghostwire Tokyo flopped, and apparently Hi-Fi Rush didn't necessarily sell well, and those are the only two games I think they dropped this generation. So if you have two commercial failures, it's hard to say you left the studio in good shape. May have left it with some good people there, but yeah, Jubei, because that was all your thoughts on the Matt Booty interview.
I mean, it sucks for the studio. Hopefully they retain the talent that they wanted to retain there. And yeah, yeah, I ain't got shit else to say about it.
All right. Let's see. Let's go zero. Zero. What are your thoughts on the comments by Matt Booty?
Like Jubei, I'm not terribly interested in CEO interviews. Developer interviews are far more interesting. But you know, at the very least, I glanced over some of it. I do like some of his level of transparency. He seemed, at least based on how he spoke and some of the things that I saw come out of the article, Xbox seems to be in good hands. Do it that way. I know a lot of decisions may not be popular with what he does, but I can't necessarily say I'm upset with the vision that he seems to want to be pushing for, or the three of them, the Spencer, Matt Booty, and Sarah Bond sort of trifecta. But like everything else, it remains to be seen. You know what I mean? Like we're always in the rebuilding year, if you quote unquote. It's time to get us a championship. And I don't know what that looks like for Xbox, because I still can't necessarily figure out totally what their success metrics look like, as opposed to Sony or Nintendo, because they seem to be very different, or
variable, very variable.
Yeah, like there's a wide range of like what can be successful as a metric for them, and I think once they land on that successful metric, that might be the road they go down.
Well,
so it's
go
ahead.
Well, he alluded to every game has its own different metric of success. So,
and that is at least on paper, that's a promising thing to hear.
Yeah.
That at least eliminates the idea that largely in the industry, if you don't do Last of Us, Minecraft, big game numbers, you won't succeed.
Yeah.
Now, it's worrisome to say that when he says that, considering that I thought Hi-Fi Rush did well, but apparently not, and that's a really good game. So it's just sort of like...
it's not that it didn't do well, I don't think it did well enough to float the studio.
It was mainly the leadership leaving, and the fact that like after everyone left, there was no direction, and apparently like those developers were like sitting on their hands and for months.
And certainly so, right? Like I can certainly understand that. But if Shinji Mikami's leaving and saying like studio's in good hands, and the studio that was the studios that was left made Hi-Fi Rush, the studio is in good hands. It just
whose hands though?
It just sometimes things just don't hit, even though they're really good.
Yeah,
like I don't think anybody would like to make the argument that Hi-Fi Rush is a bad game.
But
whether or not it sold well is a different thing. But
there's a difference, though. You can leave a studio in good hands per se, like as far as like there being talent there. But there's a difference between like being talented and being able to like lead, people and manage.
Oh, absolutely.
So the talent could have been there.
We thought that they were leaving their shit in good hands, when they. When the transition to 343 happened, but you see how that worked out because 343's leadership is absolute ass. If you don't got the leadership,
you're not wrong about that.
Yeah,
you do make a good point on that one.
Yeah. Talent versus leadership. It has to be a good balance of both. So,
you do make a good point there. So yeah, I will, as always, wait patiently to see what Xbox has up its sleeve. I'm excited for it, although as partially through this show, I've been sort of researching trade-in values. Seems as though the Series S might be singing its final song a bit more quickly than I would have assumed. So maybe it might be time to upgrade and just go to that X.
Yeah, go get that 2 terabyte X with the little sparkles all around it.
I just thought it was the perfect system for me Whereas, like, listen, man, I don't really care. Like, I don't need Hellblade. I don't have a TV that takes advantage of all the cool bells and whistles that Hellblade and stuff has to offer. So I don't really care. I just want to play my games and have a good time. And the Series S provided that for me. But it's looking like they're gonna be like, "Hey, man, it's time to put up or shut up." You know what I'm saying? Like, we got stuff to do.
That showcase hit different, man. I'm saying,
Yeah, it's like, okay, maybe it's time to change it up. Which, I mean, it's fine. I got lucky and got this system for free. I got to spend money on it, and I don't like it.
that Expedition 33 kind of did it for me.
I mean, that's on PlayStation, right?
I believe it is coming to get PlayStation, but it's day one in Game Pass.
Yeah,
I believe it is coming to PlayStation though, for sure.
And as I said, my Xbox will definitely be my Game Pass machine, save for a couple of indies here and there.
But yeah, we've been hearing a lot from Omar. Omar, what are your thoughts on the whole Matt Booty interview and his comments regarding Tango and Xbox commitment to exclusives in the future?
I mean, when it comes to Tango, you would absolutely know for sure that they knew that he was leaving Shinji Mikami.
Yeah.
That's number one. So I'm pretty sure they have more than enough time to prepare for its successor. And furthermore, he literally left on a high note. Like, it's not like he made a terrible game and left. He made a game that was so amazing that they asked for budget to make a second one and got rejected.
No. They didn't get rejected. No. They got closed.
I mean, closed. They literally got rejected and then closed.
Because, so I mean, if I'm a read between the lines, I would say that the start of the studio closing was with Shinji Mikami leaving. My best guess would be is that they offered Shinji Mikami the opportunity to take Tango Gameworks independent, but just the money didn't work out to where he was able to do that. Where he was able to just take over that whole studio. Well, I think he left once he saw the writing on the wall. I don't think he was able to take Tango independent, so he left. That's kind of how I like reading the course of events along with their comments. So
it's a crazy thing.
Yeah. So
and here we are.
Here we are, yeah. Nappy, what are your thoughts on the whole Matt Booty?
I'll have to say, like, I honestly didn't watch the interview. I just heard more so about what happened with High Five Rush, about the lead person for the company left.
And I haven't seen him coming.
Well, the lead developer for the actual game, he didn't leave. Johannes.
Yeah.
So
which is the lead of that company, he left and stuff, and apparently they didn't have they thought that one person was like their heart and soul, which I don't believe, but it is what it is. So, because I really don't have much to say about it, because again I haven't really watched it, so I can't really give too much of an in-depth response. It was just more so like, this kind of sucks, but sure, okay. This is why you did it. This is why you do it. I hope all those people, they got new jobs. They got put in better places. They're probably working at different parts of Microsoft since they got all these studios now and helping develop great things. That's all I can say.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least, Kofi. What are your thoughts on the whole Matt Booty interview and his thoughts and comments regarding exclusives and Tango?
I think I need to spend a little bit more time breaking down some of the details of his interview. I think I'm still a little salty about the studio just not existing for me to really dive in and give a logical thought on.
Hey, an emotional
Playing
response, a response. Nothing wrong with an emotional response. I don't think you're gonna get clipped and thrown all over Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I think the emotional response is, um, eh, if any studio of mine, has some very impressive accolades that are recent, or like the most recent release, I'm going to be very, very slow to close them. And I think if you have great talent and poor leadership, I honestly think that you have to see if the culture can be led, and I would invest a lot of you know time and money to make sure that that studio could somehow live to see another release and see if they stumble then. That's just me. I kind of think of something like the Media Molecule studio. They were very well celebrated out in Europe and won themselves a BAFTA. And of course, Dreams, I think, was
I'm
a technical.
surprised they haven't closed yet.
Yeah, well, during the pandemic, I feel when everybody's numbers were going up, everybody was, Xbox, PlayStation, everybody was getting more sales because we were all at home. We know that Media Molecule was first hiring. I mean, you could go look at their posting history. They were looking for more engineers. They were looking for creators. So we know at that point they were getting supported. I have my tin cap on for Jim Ryan. I think because he was based out of Europe, he wanted to take care of any Europe-based studios. You'll notice almost all the studios, I think mine is London, and I think this one other one, had an increase in some sort of new office or something new happening to them during his few years of tenure. So that was me saying, oh, I think he's kind of like really into supporting those studios. So when they won that BAFTA, like you said, Omar, like they literally released the beta for Dreams 5 years ago. It came out, I remember, like February 2019. And then their official release wasn't until 2020, but that's a long time for them to really not have said anything, not even a
Well,
PlayStation 5 version of their game.
I
So,
don't think a
um,
PlayStation 5 version of Dreams is coming, but I think the reason that Media Molecule is still around is they showed a capability to do something that is very attractive to every platform holder, which is the ability to create a platform which other games can live inside of, kind of like Roblox and Fortnite does right now. They've shown the
Dream
ability.
flopped
They
though.
showed the ability to do that with Dreams.
it's a huge
But
compliment.
Dream flopped though.
And
Dreams did flop, but it's the fact that you showed the capability that you can do that, and the fact that they show that they can do that. I'm sure that that's attractive to the heads at Sony because they see the potential in that. If you can create a platform which all your games live inside of, like Fortnite and Roblox are doing right now, that is extremely lucrative. So, that potential is probably why they stuck around. But that's just my opinion. That's how I
I
look at
think
it.
it's a very respectable opinion. And one thing I wanted to point out about Media Molecule that they did really well was allow you to really create anything you want with an interface being a DualShock controller. And typically when you're creating very minute details in a 3D space, using a DualShock is not what you want to do. Like, no, you want a keyboard, you want a mouse, like you don't want a controller. But somehow they did it, and that was really cool to see. So, like you said, like not only could you create something that could be made anywhere. You create something that could actually be made with a controller,
Yeah,
and it showed their expertise with using controllers for UI. That's
because
so incredible.
like you be shocked. My kid, you be shocked how many games are inside of Fortnite now.
Yeah, Fortnite is crazy.
They have
Fortnite's crazy.
like that. The whole battle royale thing is the main thing, but they have thousands and thousands of other games inside of Fortnite now. Like Fortnite is not a game anymore. It's its own platform slash application.
So my bad. I kind of detracted. So I guess when I see things like that and how much we always talk about how much money Microsoft has, we know that they would have been in the red allegedly, right? There's no other reason they would have closed them, but they definitely could have held on to them. From an emotional standpoint, from a PR standpoint, I wouldn't want to have to face a team winning an award and then literally photos on Twitter of like very important people taking photos with them months ahead of their unfortunate departure. It just to me, I would not have done that. But that's my emotional response. I don't know all the numbers and all the things that they were trying to avoid or finish. So that's what I'll say for now. But if we ever revisit this topic, if more details come out, I'll make sure to read a little bit more into these details, man.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I think we got everything on that topic, and we can roll into outros. Pretty concise show today. I'm proud of you guys. We're right at 2 hours. So yeah, outros. Boom. All right. Appreciate everybody for coming through. If you've made it this far, I hope you hit the like button. I hope you share this out. Let people know about us. Your boy Farrell, I have been reaching out to other podcasters, so we'll see how that works out as far as me getting on some other shows. I'll let you guys know if that is going to take place. Looks promising right now, though. But with that being said, we had a great show with the current panel that we have, and I want to lead off with Jubei on our outros, being that he has the young one that he has to get to.
Hey yo, another good week of conversation with you fine gentlemen. You guys can find me at Jubei X Sensei on gaming platforms, Jubei Sensei everywhere else. I'm kind of really trying to get back into Starfield and like really get through my backlog. Hopefully that I make some progress here.
Waiting for land vehicles.
Yeah.
I'll dive into it when I get.
Yeah, land vehicles would take it up another notch.
Well, I don't want to start Starfield and then you get land vehicles and then I gotta redesign my ship to accommodate them.
Yeah, I got you. You're not wrong.
So, but yeah, Nappy, where people?
Hopefully I'll start Baldur's Gate this week also. So.
Okay, you got your physical copy finally?
I did.
Yay!
Okay, all right. Shout out to Larian.
Time to follow up behind you, Jubei. Get that physical copy. I've been waiting for it myself.
Time to bang the bear. Nappy, where do people find you? What are you playing?
Yes, you guys can find me on Twitter and here on YouTube. As far as gaming, I'm going to be playing a lot of different games. I'm going to now start my next mobile controller review. Which is going to be the Razer Kishi V2 with the Razer Edge. So that was the gaming Android handheld that I had before, that I showed off before. So I've got more than enough data on it, so it's time for me to dive deep into it. As far as controller reviews, I'm going to visit Bayaton's esports lineups for their controllers. So their 1 millisecond response time Hall effect joystick controllers, and I'm going to do a fun review for all of 8-Bit Doe's new Hall effect joystick Xbox lineup. So I got the 3 new controllers. I dropped one.
Broke it.
Well, that's it. And this one as well. So yeah, stay tuned for this. I don't know why 8-Bit Doe did what they did with this one with the charging dock. It is a very puzzling to me. So, but it feels good in the hands though, at least. So yeah, if you guys are also done like with this after this podcast and you still want to hear me talk or want to learn more about controller reviews, Backbone controller for your mobile phone, is Call of Duty mobile compatible, and Call of Duty mobile is usually phone friendly, so you don't have to worry about your phone overheating, unless it's not unlike playing Warzone if you don't have the latest and greatest phone. And also Easy SMX X05 controller. The company actually reached out to me, gave me this controller a little bit early before it released out to the public, so finish that review on it. So if you are curious about this controller, you can go on my YouTube channel and look at the 2 reviews and see my thoughts.
All right. I encourage you guys to run over immediately following the show and check out his review. Kofi, where can we find you, and what will you be playing this week?
I'm going to say you can find me on Twitter, creative_Kofi, but I'd like to also bring up that I'd love for several members of our panel to team up on the brand new game, First Descendants.
Oh yeah, we did talk. We did talk about that.
You actually are.
Oh, did you? Where was I?
No, we talked about it in the group chat. You brought it up.
Oh!
Yeah.
I thought you meant we talked on the cast.
No, we didn't talk on the
Yeah.
cast. We haven't talked
Yeah, I mean,
since we brought it up.
We'll bring it up because it is not officially released yet. I believe it's July 2nd that the game comes out. But
Yeah,
I'm throwing it out
played like
there.
3 of the
I
closed
played
betas.
beta or alpha or whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
played the beta with you, Omar.
I played like 3 closed betas of that game.
Yeah,
They've been working on that game for the past like 2, like
Yes.
God knows how long.
I'm so glad you're bringing. Okay, so some people are excited. That's great. And just like Juve, I'm sorry, not Juve. Just like Nappy and Omar mentioned, back in 2023, this game came out in beta. I thought the game played very well. It was very easy, but it played really well in my opinion. And I remember, I don't know if you remember this, Omar. I was watching you play the beta before I was downloading it. I was
Yeah, when
watching you
I
play.
didn't recognize your voice.
Yeah, you're like, who are you? I was like, hey man. You're like, who's this weirdo?
I'm like, who
Well,
is this weirdo? Does he want to watch me game? Play? Okay, go ahead, do so. And he started asking questions about the game. I'm like, okay, he seems to be interested. So let me break it down for him. And then he tell me I'm coffee. I'm like, okay, fuck me, I'm done.
That was so funny. I literally remember telling you, Omar, this game should come out in a year in the summertime when there is not as much attention on really big releases and it might take off. The reason I say that is titles like Remnant 2, who I definitely believe would have reviewed well. I don't think it would have sold well if it didn't release in July. And it sold really well, like way better than the first Remnant. I believe First Descendants, it's not selling for any money, but I think it'll get a lot of engagement if it's a quality title. And they've been working on this thing. So it would be awesome if we could get together and maybe at least play recorded gameplay while we do the next podcast episodes. I don't know if we could do it live, but at least recordings.
Yeah,
I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, I could do that. God, I can't remember the last.
And it's cross-platform, cross everything. So
yeah, I played like 3 or 4
we could test it.
different.
yeah, live is possible. I can stream it. I know I can. So yeah, we can look. We're definitely looking at that.
Yep. That's it for me, though. I'll bring up other things next week.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Zero, where can people find you?
Guys, you can find me pretty much everywhere. Zero.exe. Just playing Destiny and First Descendant whenever it comes out. Like, I'm always down to play new games. Personally, I know a lot of people aren't into shooters, but I think X Defiant is also right here as well. It's kind of fun. It's a good time. It's quick, easy to get into, easy to get out to. So yeah, man, I look forward to playing that stuff with you. And see you guys next week.
All right. And last but not least, Omar, where can people find you and what will you be playing?
So you can find me at Caravan Podcast on Twitter and Other Player Podcast every Saturday, 5 p.m. It's 6 p.m. Eastern time right now. Yeah, I'm playing the pirate game. I'm debating between
God
playing
damn,
Cyberpunk or Stellar Blade. So yeah, decision. As for the First Descent, I'm gonna think about it because I just bought what you call it, Stellar Blade.
You said you're between Cyberpunk and Stellar Blade?
Yeah.
I would go Stellar Blade first. Because
Why?
Because Cyberpunk is a little bit more Western RPG-ish. Should probably take a little bit longer, whereas Stellar Blade's a little bit more linear.
Based on how the games I understand you like, I think you enjoy Stellar Blade more.
Oh yeah, I played the demo for Stellar Blade. What fun!
Yeah. So I would go Stellar Blade first because I think Cyberpunk might take a little bit more of your time.
Gotcha. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming through. Appreciate Yobi for being so involved in the chat as always.
He's always doing
yeah.
stuff.
You know, by the way, Yobi, you know how long it will take for me to showcase all my controllers.
We don't care how long it will take. We want the video.
There's
right?
still controllers that
We-
just didn't even make the cut for reviews that I have on my wall right now.
We don't care about the blood and sweat and tears it requires from you. We care about the end result, which is a quality YouTube video with a lot of cool controllers we get to look at.
Quality YouTube video.
Yes, we want a quality YouTube video. I want the music banging, like on your current review of the Backbone that I encourage you guys to check out. I want the music to be hitting. I want the controllers all nice and displayed on the wall. I want them all clean with all the fingerprints off of it. All the dirt that gets in between that little crease of them Xbox controllers. I want all that out. And we want a quality, amazing video. That's what we want.
I'm a controller holder. She already believes I'm a controller holder.
Well, we already know you are.
Okay.
So
Yeah, like you already exposed yourself with that.
you know, like when Clive had to accept the truth, and that this is your accept the truth moment.
I'm a controller holder because she asks me every time, which controller do you use today? Do you use all these controllers? What controller have you touched in the past month? Can I have that controller? That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, you could donate the controllers to people in need.
Controller, I'm always down.
Yeah, everybody wants a controller.
Yeah, I bet they do. But yeah, let's wrap this up. Appreciate everybody for coming through. Thanks for getting your weekly dose of that vitamin G. We are out. Peace.
Later.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone. All alone.
You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
I'm on the outside looking in, and I wanna be back on the inside. I don't wanna be left on the outside, all alone.
Vitamin G. Got what you need. Vitamin G. Got what you need.
All alone.
Vitamin G. Discussing that heat in the street, and we got just what you need on vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. You rockin' with beats, discussing the heat in the streets. Take over the west and the east. I got what you need, a dose of this vitamin G. Vitamin G.
I'm on the outside looking in.